Rouge-Pelt was fraught with natural obstacles in addition to armed battalions. The most notable of these obstacles was Xantippe's Abyss, a yawning, bottomless chasm that spanned a continent. There was some speculation that the chasm was not natural at all, but that in the early days of the war, one side or the other had, in its reckless enthusiasm to wrench the resources from the ground, simply cracked the planet in two.
I do love the hints of, like, the high technology. It makes you wonder if, like, at this point in the war, actually, we've been fighting for 4,000 years, you know, if this isn't actually the most advanced we've been, if we've actually kind of fallen back because of the level of destruction, that we're just no longer capable of, like, the same sorts of things that maybe they once must have been. The arm has assembled an annihilator weapon. Okay, so that'll be fun. That'll just be nuking our units, basically, if they try and cross. That's the blue laser of death. One shot kills most anything. The one crossing is well guarded. Capture the Bertha cannon. Okay, so if we capture the Bertha cannon, and then we can use that to destroy the other stuff. So again, with the core missions feeling like they're thought out in a slightly more interesting way, like you're not just going in to, you know, whatever, build up an army, destroy the next thing. Like, some of the missions are clearly falling into that category. We'll do a +5 maybe. It's a nice balance because +10 is super fast, and obviously again once we get back into combat we'll slow things down. But, like, you know, at least they're letting you think it out in an interesting way, as opposed to just like, build the big army and storm in. And this is looks like a fairly narrow map. I'm just scoping the map itself out here, but very long. So that to the east, in my mind, it was to the east, right? So that means just maybe it's like literally right over on the bottom here, or maybe it's on this side, but a little further up. I don't know. We'll find out. We'll get a weasel out maybe, and then a slasher for light air defense in case, you know, we get a visit. And then a construction vehicle, and then some more slashers. Sort of classic, fairly straightforward build order. The weasel, actually, this build order wouldn't even be the worst in multiplayer, honestly. The weasel's actually a pretty solid raiding unit in terms of early game raiders. It's because it's got that, the laser on it is not horrible in terms of its power, so if you, I mean, obviously it'll die to almost anything, but if you send weasels out in multiplayer as like an early game raiding force, you know, they can easily destroy metal extractors, because metal extractors are such low health, and they can actually hold their own against a, you know, if you have more than one, they could hold their own against a K-bot. Obviously, like, slashers or Samsons are a good counter to them because the missiles, you know, track very well, they have long range, but if you can get a weasel out and start, you know, harassing the enemy's metal extractors or construction units early on, they are actually a good multiplayer unit early game anyway. So this build order of weasel, slasher, construction unit, more slashers, honestly would probably work out fine in multiplayer. Obviously I'm not expanding and managing things at the same rate I should if I was playing a multiplayer game, but we're not actually playing multiplayer. Okay, well, the weasel might die to this stupid asteroid shower. I really genuinely wonder, like, who thought this. Somebody just thought that was way too good of an idea. Yeah, weasel died to the asteroids. Oh well. Let's get a radar up. Keep a few Samsons in our base area, just in case. Let's go ahead and have the commander hang out in this general vicinity. And then I'm going to primarily use the construction truck. I know it's a construction vehicle, but, you know, whatever, same difference. As my thing that I'll venture out. I'm going to try and keep my commander relatively close to the base, because I feel like we've reached the point where, I mean, we can push up a little bit But we've reached that point, kind of like what happened last mission, where we held on by the seat of our pants, where I feel like random execution squads coming for our commander is something maybe we can expect from now on. So definitely want to make sure we always have a few slashers laying around, or, you know, missile turrets available to defend us, because otherwise we might meet an untimely demise sooner than we'd want. So the wherever this Bertha is, it must. Oh, here we go. So Dragon's Teeth. So I'm thinking we found the lair of the Bertha. Okay, they must have a sentinel. Okay. Let's see what we should use. Probably not thunder, shadows would be the best bet. Take out the sentinels, and obviously Fink to scout. Let's where's the rocks? Some of these protrusions are really messing with me a little bit, where it's like, is it a rock? Is it a just a bump in the map? Like, you see all these, like, some of them are rocks, and some of them are just unreclaimable, worthless bumps. No one asked for worthless bumps. We wanted rocks. Rocks full of metal. Let's get a Fink, shadow, construction aircraft, more shadows. And then obviously we'll do the, we'll set up patrol routes, that way they don't just park around. Any more rocks in this area? Not seeing it. You go down here and just kind of scan the bottom of the map real quick, and then build just a couple of missile towers. Again, in case some brawlers or something pop out of nowhere. Let's see. Okay, there's another metal extraction point. Keep our slashers in a nice skirmish line. Okay, so we've got a pretty decent metal income now. There was a geothermal vent somewhere, right? Or did I imagine that? I thought I saw a geo vent. I must be... My brain must just be creating the things I want to see with no evidence, because there apparently is not a geothermal vent. That's alright. So we'll just have to build more solar collectors. Boo. Build a few of those. We do have a lot of metal, though, now that I'm saying it out loud. So really, go ahead, build the missile turrets, and then you can also build a few solar collectors, and then maybe try for a advanced vehicle plant. So even this radar, we're still out of range, I guess. So let's slow our game speed down. And send the Fink over. So there's two Berthas. That's interesting. And a lovely meteor shower. I love how there's just like a almost totally undefended Berthas, with the exception of the one great. Thank you, whoever came up with the idea for having, you know, meteors on this map. Oh, they do have a construction unit, though. I might be better off degunning, since that's the only thing. We'll keep the slashers nearby. Some bulldogs. Oh, we got Zeus's. Zeusai. Whatever the plural of Zeus is. Oh, and the Berthas are actually trying to engage us. Okay, we got the Sentinel. There's this random Zeus just chilling up there. We probably need an energy storage. That's probably more useful to us. Because we actually don't have enough energy, I bet, to fire the Bertha. I wonder if we can box in the construction unit and try and capture the armed construction unit. That would be sort of fun. Or we could, do the classic kidnapping maneuver. Commander, how about you hold your fire? Where'd that Zeus go, I wonder? There's the big void that somebody cracked the planet in half. You ever partied so hard that you accidentally crack a planet in half? Because the Arm and the Core have, apparently. Hey, look, it's more meteors. Isn't that something? Get some Avengers. If we pick up the construction K-bot, that might be our best bet for actually abducting it or capturing it. Ta-da! Okay, well, we have some Bertha guns. You build an energy storage. Let's get an advance. Oh, we can build Goliaths. That's cool, too. Those will be useful for the Annihilator. I think they might actually have enough health to be able to take one blue laser. I could be wrong. Okay, well, we have an armed construction K-bot. I wonder just how much of the ARM tech we can have. I see we can build an advanced K-bot lab, so that's kind of fun. I'm trying to think of what would be useful for us to have, though. I mean, I mostly just did it because I thought it was funny. You ever just capture an enemy K-bot for kind of a meme? Let's go ahead and reclaim the Sentinel. And then, obviously, the advanced aircraft will also be useful for, not advanced aircraft. What did I say? The advanced construction vehicle will be useful for advanced radar. Oh, that's kind of funny. So they have us capture the Bertha, but they also let us build the Intimidator, which makes the Bertha slightly, I'm not going to say worthless. Certainly, I'll take 2 free heavy artillery pieces, right? But not as good as you might expect. Alright. We have 2 Berthas reporting for duty. We are in desperate need of additional energy. Are there any of those plant things anywhere? Where do our construction aircraft go? Did it get killed? Killed by meteorites, probably. Oh, there it is. Is there any... Yeah, there are some plants. You can reclaim these for a bit of an energy boost. Oh, hey. It's asteroids. Who could have foreseen this? Yeah, it took out some of our metal. That's like the mostly irritating thing, is that like the economy structures are so weak that, you know, you lose them every time there's one of these meteor showers. We've got our twin Bertha cannons, and I think we're ready to take on the world at this point. Got our Goliaths that will be lumbering towards the enemy very soon. Let's see what we can see. Let's see if we can find the Annihilator. There it is. Keeping our energy just very low here, as the Bertha is just shell and shell and shell. You know, it's interesting. Long-range artillery like this, like, it took a while after it was developed before anybody kind of figured out how to actually use it properly. And that sounds silly, but for a long time, even after like the cannons kept increasing in sort of their range and power, like directly targeting, like doing basically line of sight targeting with your artillery, almost like it was like an old school cannon, was still pretty much the most common way to use artillery. And this went on for years, and basically in the Russo-Japanese War, they kind of figured out like, oh, we can do indirect fire, and then they pretty much everybody forgot about it, and then World War I happened, you know, literally 9 years later, and they pretty much all had to relearn. I think we got the Annihilator. Pretty much everybody had to relearn. Oh, that was it? For real? Okay, so yeah, don't worry about the rest of the arm base. Just kill the Annihilator and you're good. So basically, just capture the Bertha and win. I was about to send in, like, you know, all the troops. I'm sure there's a speed run if you were into speedrunning where you can basically just walk forward, find the right path to avoid getting killed, and just degun the Annihilator with your commander and win in like 2 minutes. That was really surprising. I'm actually sorry. I had no idea. I was about to send in a whole attack force because I'm pretty sure you can drive through the trench. But, alright. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Total Annihilation's core campaign. And I think we're finally getting off Rouge Pelt in the next episode.